Hi everyone, welcome to OutLaws Dies, and today I am going to be showing you the new companion set to our builder die, and this is our builder set. Before I do that, really quickly, I do want to tell you, for anybody who owns the builder set, this piece is going to be changing. The new builder set will not include this piece. It will include a new piece. And the new piece, because this one had a lot of problems with its flimsiness on the connection here. So we had to redo that and make that change. So this is the new piece that will be considered the builder set. All the new sets will consist of this piece. If you already have the builder set and if you've already purchased it, this piece is going to be available for a limited time as a one-off by itself so that you can add that to your collection. So what we did was, when we did this one, because we knew people that already had this set might want this new one to add to their collection, we didn't want to give you the same buildings in the same direction. So we flipped it and mirrored it. So now the other builder set, if you have it, can actually go behind by shifting one way or the other a little bit. Together, they're like this, but if you shift it just slightly, then you'll get that different building look. But again, this was just too flimsy on this, and we were worried that eventually if it got bent or something that it could break. So we had to change the design. And when I changed the design, we added more metal all the way up to the tops of the buildings so that it was much more stable. And we took out some of the windows. So this is what the new builder set is. And again, I am debuting now the companion set to builder, which is Brickman. Brickman is a set that gives you the block and the little person. And what this set will cut for you is these pieces here. And I will show you where I put them. Okay, so first off, it gives you the little person, the little guy. And what you do with this one is you'll cut 3 different pieces, the same exact cut, 1, 2, 3, and then you just cut your base piece in the color that you want his hands and head to be. And then the secondary piece, whatever color you want the top and whatever color you want the bottom. Okay, and then you just cut right straight across and then layer them exactly how you see it. He is really simple and he's really cool. We did not put a face in here because there's millions and millions of stamp faces and there's millions and millions of drawing faces that you can do to let him look however you want. So we left that for your imagination. These guys here originally was just going to be this one, but what I decided was I wanted to have, instead of just giving you these lines and then letting you cut them out yourselves, I wanted to go ahead and give you a shadow of this brick and the little dots for the tops and the sides as well. So this piece here will cut the sides and this piece here will cut the dots, and I'll show you that in just a second. But what it's going to do is it's going to give you the opportunity to create different looks for your bricks. And this is a 3D look to where I went ahead and added in the dark color underneath the top and the dark color on the sides. This is the one that I used the standard piece for. And if you'll notice, there are what look like cuts, but they're not, they're etching. And what you can do is you can just go with a pen into those grooves perfectly, and it gives you all the nice depth and detail that way if you want to do that. And if you wanted to take like a darker purple and you wanted to color that in here, you could do that. There's another trick that you can also do here in a second, and I'll show you that. And this is using a darker color for my base and lighter color for the bottoms, and then I just did the tops. And again, I could easily go in and darken down this because it's nice and etched for me, and give it some dimension that way too. Okay, so those are the different ways that you can cut the blocks, and I'll show you how it works right here. Okay, so like I said, this is a shadow of the whole entire brick, so you get that. This is the top where it cuts the brick, and embosses into the paper, the lines and everything else. This is the one that does all the dots. And this is the one that cuts the 3 different pieces for the base. And again, you don't have to use these two. You can just use this and then use your pen or pencil, and it works great. It works just fine. So this is just an option that I wanted to give to be able to just, you know, add a little bit of dimension to something. Also, this one here, just giving you the dots, this gives you the opportunity to create different size bricks that I do not necessarily have the dies for yet. So I just wanted everybody to have some options. Okay, so again, the way that this set works is you can leave it alone just like this. You can take your pen and you can go into the grooves, or what you can do is you can get one of your little sticky notes here and you can pick up these pieces and then just add a teeny bit of glue. That's actually too much. Okay. And then just going into where those ridges are, I'm going to tilt it slightly so I can see because of the shadow. And get it on there. Okay. And I'm going to move this around just a hint. There we go. Just like that. Just like that. And then I'm going to do that for all of my pieces. And I'm going to actually use my tweezers because I do like those better. I'm a tweezer person. And again, you do not need very much glue on there at all. Oops, and that shadow is kind of getting me a little bit, so I'm going to do it this way. Oops. This is very quick setting glue, so I kind of have to move a little bit quickly. There we go. There. Now, if I wanted to change and make this look like one of the younger kids' blocks, you know, that the babies and stuff use, then I would not actually be using the darker tone on the bottom. I would actually be using the darker tone on the top. And the reason why is because those bricks actually have holes on the tops. So I would be doing this just slightly opposite this. Alrighty. So just with that, you can really see how that dimension's kind of starting to play out. And I could leave it like that. I could not do any more than that. Or I could go ahead and add the bottom piece and the side piece and get that different look of that brick. See that? Okay, so I personally like that look. Not everybody will, which is why I gave you options. I am really big on, when I'm designing these dies, on really giving the customer the option to do whatever they want with it, not forcing them to do it a certain way or put it together a certain way. That's one of the things that OutLaws dies is pretty much going on as a concept for these new dies that we're doing. What we want to do is we want to give you a new way to look at dies and a new way to use these dies. So with having these different options on, you know, the different parts and pieces to this, it gives you the chance and the opportunity to make the die look how you want it to look. So again, this is done with lighter to dark. This is done darker to light. And you can just see that it gives it that really nice depth and dimension. And what I did on this one is I very lightly took a pencil to the inside of the marks and I accented just inside that groove so you can see that top a little bit more. And you can go in with a darker pencil too and do the same thing. And give yourself that same depth and dimension. like that. So again, this is the new Brickman set, and I do hope you like it and use it in all the different ways that you possibly can. Oh, I almost forgot. On the circles, the dots, on this part of this die, one of the things it does when it cuts is it leaves you this kind of stencil, if you will. And the neat thing about this is when I made the dots, I made them exactly in the position that they are on the brick. Okay, so they're not shifted, they're not moved, they're the exact same position as they are on the brick. And so what can happen is when you're putting and you're doing the brick and you're cutting out the brick, it gives you this one that has all the different layers, right? So what you do is you take the stencil and then you can come in here and you can go ahead with your inks or whatever else, and you can come in and you can color, or you can go in with a distress ink. I don't think I have a purple here, but I'll check. Oh, I sure do. Here's Villainous. So here's Villainous Potion, right? So let me get my little brush here and take a little Villainous Potion. And I can come in now, and using this as a stenciling guide, I can come in and darken these just slightly. Doesn't have to be a lot. And I can come in from an angle on one side, and then that'll give you a little bit of depth and dimension there too. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing to give everybody so that you had it. So again, another way that you can really take it to the next level and, you know, use the dies for more than one purpose in more than one way. And again, this can be used if you want to cut different things. If you wanted to cut this in half, you could make the brick smaller. You could cut this one here and make it smaller. And what I mean by that is if you come in just like so, and just like so, now you have a smaller brick. Okay, so there's versatility here. There's different design concepts that you can do, and just different ways that you can design it. This shadow, because this one embosses down below the line here, if you make the background piece with this shadow, and I'll show you that real quick too. Ooh, where'd it go? There it is. My little diamond press. I love this guy. It's probably one of my favorite die machines. It's so easy and so quick and little and tiny, and you can move it around with you. Okay, so get that out of the way. So again, same situation. This one doesn't give you that embossed part to it, but what you can do with this now is if you follow this line this way, I can go ahead and reduce the die like this. Okay, and this way as well. Come up right about there. And then if I were to use the dots instead of the other piece, where's my little thing? There it is. I can now make this, oops, a 1x4. If I wanted to, if I want to create my own little piece. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And if you wanted to even cut this down here, you could make it a 2x1. So again, it's just another way that I wanted to make these dies versatile and, you know, enough to where you could just, with a little bit of embellishing, change the entire look of what you're doing. Okay. Oh, I didn't do that straight, but you get the idea. Okay. So just changing a couple of pieces around, doing it a little bit differently, adding it a cut, splitting it in half, whichever, it can give you that whole other look to the piece. So I hope you enjoy these dies, because again, these are like one of my favorites. I really do love the look and love the dimension that it gives. I hope you like them too, and thank you guys for watching and being a part of OutLaws Dies, because it really does make a huge difference to us on the things that we can do, the products that we can come out with, in making everybody really happy with new lines and new creations. So have a great day.